I am a person who loves science, so I do much reading about science. And I'm also a person who does research about things. So to become knowledgeable about all of the green energy and other options like that, I joined a local group called Citizens Climate Lobby North Shore. I also got on all sorts of email lists for other climate groups, did research on the internet. That was how I found out greener ways to live. We have solar panels on our roof, and we were very smart. We bought the solar panels. So I don't suggest that anyone lease solar panels, buy them outright. Unfortunately, some of our solar panels are shaded. That's why they don't provide as much electricity. So we don't get the full sun that everyone else gets. But our neighbor gets really full sun. He produces too much electricity for his own needs. So he has filled out a Schedule Z with National Grid, and he gives us 5% of his electricity. Now, if people in Massachusetts are in the same electrical generation area, I'm not sure how that grid is mapped out, then one person can give through Schedule Z a certain percentage of their electricity to another person in that same area. The solar panels provided about 85% of our yearly electrical needs prior to putting in the air source heat pumps. We buy our electricity through the city of Salem. They have a municipal electrical buying program, and we pay 2 cents more per kilowatt hour than the lower price electricity because we're forcing the fossil fuel companies to buy renewable energy credits. And actually, our electrical bills weren't that bad this year. The month that was the most expensive was $350. And then it went down the next month, and then it went down to about $200. We also have a Chevy Bolt 100% electric vehicle that we plug in the garage. So we're using electricity for that. So I was really surprised that our electrical bills were only at the highest $350 for the month. About a year ago, we had our entire house switched over to air source heat pumps. Because we had the central air conditioning in the house, we were able to use a lot of the ducts from the central air conditioning unit to provide heating and air conditioning through the air source heat pumps. So the design for our house is, we are now sitting in my piano studio, and over here to the right of me is a wall unit air source heat pump, a mini split. And then we have an addition on the back of the house called the sunroom that also has a wall unit mini split in it. It's smaller because that room's smaller. Then in our attic, we have an air handler, and that sends all of the heating and cooling through the ducts from the attic, through the ceiling vents into all the rest of the rooms, the 3 bedrooms, the bathroom, the kitchen, the living room. Those are all a central unit. Now, one of the important things about getting the $10,000 rebate from Mass Save for these air source heat pumps is that your house has to be really properly insulated. And if it's not, they don't want to give you the $10,000 rebate because we're not supposed to be heating the neighborhood. So Mass Save checks to be sure that you have double pane or triple pane windows, that you have the proper amount of insulation up in your attic and in the walls of your house. So they had to do just a little bit of that. We had had our house insulated really well many years ago through Mass Save. We got a 0% 5-year loan. I think we paid $32 a month for 5 years to have the whole house insulated. But they still had to add a little bit more insulation to do the air source heat pumps. We financed our air source heat pumps through, first of all, the $10,000 rebate that we got from Mass Save. And then for our house, the entire price was approximately $30,000. So approximately $20,000, we got a 7-year 0% loan. And we tried to be very green about what banking institution we chose. There's a climate group called 350 Mass, and they did a wonderful webinar about a year ago on banks and the climate disaster. So it's really important for people who are conscious about the climate disaster to support banks that are good about green energy. So the bank that we chose was a credit union, a local credit union. We actually chose Metro Credit Union, went down there, applied for the loan, got our $20,000 loan, and our payments are $200 and something a month, and that will be for 7 years. Again, a 0% loan. So there's no way we're going to pay that off early, because with inflation, as the months go by, that $200+ will be worth less. So we'll take the full 7 years to pay that. We use our oil for hot water still, and we use it as a backup. Those 2 times we put the oil heat on, the smell. I didn't realize all my life living with oil boilers that they actually make the air in the house smell a little fossil fuel-like. And the other wonderful thing about the air source heat pumps is we change the filter in that once a month. You can put a hospital-grade filter in there and have your air be as clean as the air that filters through hospitals. Or you can get the filters that are for residential homes. But the air is much cleaner. So I have a friend who's interested in switching over to air source heat pumps. But he's concerned because both of his sons have asthma and allergies. And he is equating pushing hot air or moving hot air in a room with allergies and problems. But no, the air is much cleaner and it's filtered, and you're actually not pushing air in and out. All you're doing is moving heat from in your house to outside, or moving heat from outside inside. It just moves air. It doesn't push stuff. It cleans the air and it sends it into your house through the filters. So I hope that he will consider getting air source heat pumps for the health of his 2 boys. I don't notice any drafts when I'm using my air source heat pumps. In fact, I have this wall unit right here above the piano, and you can change it to direct the air to like do some sort of fan thing, or it can blow up, or it can blow down, or it can blow to one side or another side. So sometimes I actually like it when the heat is blowing on me in the wintertime because I feel warmer. Now, if I didn't want something to blow directly on me, I just change the direction of the fan that's in there and send the heating or cooling in another direction. If somebody has a real love for the planet, and they love animals and nature and people, and they want us to have a good life and have a planet to live on, that can be a great motivation for doing this. This was my motivation for turning my whole life over to green energy. I want animals and plants to live on the planet.